The Honor X9D just showed up, and it's basically saying, I'm not just a phone, I'm a tank. It's got IP69K certification, can survive drops from up to 2.5 meters, and packs a massive 8300 mAh battery that promises up to 3 days of use. But here's the real question. Is this thing only for people who keep dropping their phones, or is it actually a good pick for everyday use? Let's find out what's really behind all those bold claims. Design and in-hand feel. Right off the bat, you can tell the X90 doesn't look that different from other mid-range phones, even though it's way tougher than most of them. It weighs up 193 grams, measures 7.76 millimeters thick, and feels solid, not in a bulky, rugged phone kind of way, but definitely sturdier than your average mid-ranger. Honor says it passed a 2.5 meter drop test and has IP68 and even IP69K ratings, meaning it's resistant to dust, water, and even high-pressure hot water jets. The front glass is multi-layered, and the frame is reinforced metal. What I really like is that, despite being that durable, it still looks like a normal phone. Not one of those chunky industrial-looking ones that make you feel like you're carrying a power tool. Display. The X90 uses a 6.79-inch AMOLED panel with a 1200 by 2640 resolution, 120 Hz refresh rate, and 10-bit color. But the big deal here is brightness. Honor claims it can hit up to 6000 nits, which is wild, even compared to some flagships. Outdoors, it's super easy to read. I tested it under direct sunlight, and even in video footage, you can see the icons and text stay sharp and visible. Color-wise, it's got that typical Honor pop, slightly saturated, but really pleasing to the eye. You also get both natural and vivid modes. So if you want more accurate colors, stick with natural. Performance and daily use. At the heart of it, there's the Snapdragon 6 Gen 4. A 4nm mid-range chip focused on stability and efficiency. In day-to-day use, it's completely smooth. No lags, no hiccups. Scrolling, multitasking, app switching, all fluid. For gaming though, if you're into heavier titles like Genshin Impact or Warzone Mobile, expect some frame drops on higher settings. It's fine for medium settings. PUBG and Call of Duty run smoothly, but it's not a gaming powerhouse. On the bright side, it stays cool. Even after 30 minutes of gaming, it just gets mildly warm, nothing more. You get 12 GB of RAM and storage options of 256 GB or 512 GB. Cameras. Now, let's talk cameras. The main sensor is 108 megapixels with OIS paired with a depth sensor. Photos come out detailed and fairly natural in color. HDR works well, though sometimes it flattens, highlights, and shadows a bit too much. At night, as long as you keep your hands steady, you'll get decent shots. But in really low light, noise creeps in. Video recording goes up to 4K 30 frames per second with optical stabilization. Footage looks sharp, though dynamic range is just okay. The 16 megapixel selfie cam is solid for social media and video calls, but skin textures look slightly overprocessed at times. Battery and charging. This is where the X9D absolutely shines. It packs a massive 8300 mAh battery, bigger than most tablets actually. Honor claims up to 3 days of battery life, and in my real-world use, it easily lasted 2 full days. Even with videos, social media, and a bit of gaming, I'd still have around 40% left by bedtime. Charging is 66 watts, and a full charge from 0 to 100 takes about 75 minutes. Plus, it supports reverse wire charging, so you can top up your earbuds or another phone if you need to. Software and UI, it runs Magic OS 9, which is Honor's clean and customizable interface. You've got features like AI eraser, display tuning options, and multiple battery-saving modes. It runs smooth with no visible lag. It's based on Android 15, and Honor promises two major Android updates. Not as long as Samsung's policy, but still decent. Final thoughts. The Honor X9D is a surprisingly well-balanced phone. Perfect if you just want something hassle-free. It doesn't run out of juice, doesn't mind a drop or two, and still feels modern to use. Honor's basically nailed the mix between durability, battery, and everyday performance. Sure, it's not the lightest or most camera-focused phone, but it'll easily last you years without drama. What do you think? Do you see this kind of extreme durability as something practical or just a marketing flex? Let me know down in the comments. And seriously, how many of you have actually dropped your phone from 2.5 meters?